Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Today is Halloween, and it's really early in the morning, 6 o'clock. I'm getting ready to go to work. So before I start, let me just show you guys my Halloween costume. This is, I don't know, the blue cat from the K-pop Demon Hunters. If you don't know who K-pop Demon Hunters, look that up because my entire family is going to be dressed up as one of these characters, and I'm sure everyone else in the neighborhood is going to be doing the same, or even across the nation is going to be doing if not similar. But anyway, today I want to talk about Amazon again because this really intrigued my mind to find out that Amazon really sucks at hiring. If this isn't true, if this is true, in fact, I guess I'm saying that wrong. If this in fact is true, I twisted that around. That's what happens when you learn Chinese and English at the same time. But anyway, the point is Amazon is claiming that the 14,000 job cuts has nothing to do with AI, which kind of leads into another thing. Like, if it's not AI, then what was it? Did you lose money? Nope, not even. So the whole point of this article, I'm going to share with you guys also from the Business Insider, it's about culture. How in the world something like this is about culture, which I don't understand until I dug a little deeper. Let me expand that a little bit more. Amazon CEO says 14,000 job cuts weren't driven by cost or AI. So, not about money, not about AI. It's all about culture. And what the hell do they mean by culture? And I read it and I was like, all right, that just proved the point that Amazon really sucks at hiring. So, Amazon slashes 14,000 jobs this week, not to job cuts chase cost or chase AI, but because they didn't fit the culture. That's according to Amazon CEO Andy Jassy, who shared his thoughts about the layoffs for the first time during the company's quarterly earnings call on Thursday. The announcement that we made a few days ago was not really financially driven and is not even really AI driven. Not right now, at least, Jassy said, referring to the job cuts announced on Tuesday. It's culture. Okay, so let me explain something right now. In order to get into one of these more prestigious organizations, you would have to be vetted in so many levels, so many tiers, so many supervisors, and so many directors, and how many interview processes would you need to go through in order to get into Amazon, especially in a higher paying position in a corporate environment. For them to say that it doesn't fit the culture, that just means Amazon, one, either changed their entire culture around, or two, whoever they had doing these interviews were let go as part of that culture, right? So you're revamping your culture. And of course, when you bring culture into play, it's more like your your demographics, who you're targeting, how the company is steering is changing, right? Culture is sometimes I'll give a really brief example is like, oh, I've encountered companies where they say, oh, our culture is like, we're all about remote work. We don't have an office. That's a culture, right? There's people who are used to it. But when you start bringing all that back, that's a different culture, right? Now we have in-office culture. We love to interact, meet one-on-one, face-to-face, and things like that. So it's culture, right? Uh, Micromanagement is a culture. So many different things, right? You can name anything and everything as part of their culture. Like, oh, we have Pizza Friday. Oh, that's the nice culture. They like to get together on Fridays and eat pizza. Woo, big whoop, right? So that's culture. So what exactly in Amazon did it change that it all led to culture? It's a broad statement. I feel like it's more of a scapegoat statement, not something that's really you can prove. Like, oh, our culture changed. Like, okay, so what exactly really changed, right? Did Amazon just decided to get rid of Amazon Prime? Like, is that a new culture that they're going to start? No, that's definitely not. I don't know. The article doesn't dive too deep. It's very broad. But let's go a little further into it and see what's going on. Amazon's Senior Vice President of People Experience and Technology, Beth Galetti, announced cuts on Tuesday in a job close, explaining despite the company's strong performance, it is reducing jobs as a results of AI rapidly changing the world. So there's a contradiction, right? You got Beth who is saying it's AI rapidly changing the world, And then you have the Jassy individual saying that it's a culture thing. Like, okay, so which is it, right? Now, of course, their words are not really set in stone here, but as far as the Beth Galetti's job results are reducing jobs as a result of AI rapidly changing the world. It didn't say Amazon doing that, but I think that was a broader statement and just throwing it out there and saying, hey, we're letting go people because AI is rapidly changing the world. Unfortunately, this generation of AI's most transformative technologies we've seen since the internet and is enabling companies to innovate much faster than ever before in existing market segments and altogether new ones, Galetti wrote. Tuesday's layoff marked Amazon's biggest job cut since it shed 27,000 positions in late 2022. Mind you, this 14,000 job cuts that just happened on Tuesday, estimated going into 2026 is going to be approximately 30,000. So overall, between the two in 2022 and what's going to happen in the future state, that's about 60,000 jobs almost, right? Which is pretty insane. So let's go a little further. The article ends here literally. On Thursday's call, Jassy said Amazon's rapid growth in recent years created a lot more layers that have slowed decision making. No kidding, right? I mean, every organization has how many layers of individuals before it reaches to the top to make a decision to make dramatic changes. It's almost like back in the day when there was programmers, developers, they had to go through these different events and get approval, test it. But now with this vibe coding stuff, it's like people just sit at the desk, put a line of code together, and boom, it's like in the market already, right? It's unbelievable. Like how many individuals can just sit there by themselves, create this whole thing, right? Vibe coding, putting things together and instantly on the fly release a product, right? Without even like really testing it, which is pretty crazy. So slowing the decision making because of all these layers of, management, director, deputy, and seniors and this and that makes sense. But were there really like 14,000 people like that, like in those positions? If it is, wow, I just have to say, wow. I feel sorry for those individuals that were hired, especially at that skill set, at that level. It becomes to the point where you work for these companies, but you're not really doing anything to showcase your own skills. And obviously their worth was not keeping, right? Because now you're just managing someone else. I can get anyone else to manage someone else. I could get one person to manage 10 people. I could get one person to manage 20 people. Why do I need one person to manage another person and then hire each for one of those contributors, right? Organizational contributors. Why would I need someone to hire a manager to manage that person? And I feel like that's where a lot of organizations fall into, and that's when all that fluff comes into place, right? It's just overhired, too many people. Like, how many other managers do you need? Which I've seen a lot, honestly. There has never been a more critical time for the company to operate leaner and move faster. Okay, so that ends it there. We got a mixed bag of emotions. One says AI, one says culture. Maybe it's both. It's the AI culture. I mean, that's as simple as that, right? You say culture, but maybe it's the AI culture. Maybe that's what he meant. And he just didn't say AI culture. He just said culture, right? Culture just means a lot of things, very broad. I think it puts less emphasis on the words that he used and chose to say it's culture, right? But didn't mention anything about AI. And then the other individual said AI specifically, and that's why we're reducing. And plus, there's too many layers of management and whatever it is that was happening at Amazon. So whether you can argue the point and say that Amazon sucked at one point at hiring because they hired all these people, did they not realize that their culture is not fitting into their culture, or did they have a different vision of what culture was prior to all this AI boom? And then now that it's gotten to where it is, they can formulate, automate a lot of things and does it efficiently without human interaction or less of it. And that's probably the reason why they're letting go so many people. The less human interaction, AI efficiency. Not saying AI is perfect, but AI does have a role in this because it can process certain things more efficiently and faster and at scale, right? I can assure you, when you work in corporate jobs, one time or another, you're going to come through working on an Excel spreadsheet, right? Thousands of rows and hundreds of columns, whatever it is. For you to do keyboard shortcuts, look, find, command, duplicates, things and like that, it'll take you time. As a human being, it'll take you time. Why? How do I know that? Because I've done it. At this point, I'm probably still doing it, which is like kind of like, why am I still doing this, right? AI can take that same task that you probably would take a half a day, if not an entire day, right, to do, and do it within seconds, and probably run that same mentality. Same mentality. AI doesn't have a mentality. It's just, it does its work. It does a function, a task. All right. Let me put it into proper words. It does a task that it can do efficiently across probably 20 spreadsheets similar to something like that. And of course, I'm giving a really broad, highlight of what it can do. It can reduce that time. And that's where the challenge is. Like, you hire a human being, yes, you get this interaction, you can talk to them, they could sit there all day and work on a spreadsheet. AI, and I'm just saying AI in general. I don't know what tool you have or what's homebrewed or what's on the open market. You could take an AI, create an agent, or have an agent already built that you could probably just purchase and do these tasks where someone would take days and weeks, like a whole working week, and probably 10 to maybe 100 times production, productivity, right? Deliverables at a faster rate, right? And guess what? You don't have to pay them AI in this case. You don't have to pay it bonuses. You don't have to negotiate with them about can you stay later to finish this? That's exactly what is going on. Coacher, that's the coacher, AI coacher. Thank you guys. Please hit that like, comment, subscribe. I always forget to say that in the beginning, but I appreciate you guys, all of you. Thank you.